Now that the customer has signed the allowance amounts for the job, then you can go ahead and see all of those allowance buckets within your selections tab, and we can start adding selections within those buckets. Let's go ahead and add a new selection document within appliance allowance. I'm going to call this my appliance package. All right, now we can add in some selections here. So I'm going to go to plus group and I will choose some that I've pre-saved in my catalog. So from catalog, and I will choose my appliance package selections. Now, if you'd like to go more in depth about how to build your selections from the ground up, then definitely check out the video on predefined selections and write-in selections. Let's go ahead and click add. And now you'll see that I have my appliance package listed. And I might want to set a due date for that. So we're going to say the due date is Friday the 12th, and we will click create. Now you'll see that I have my appliance package listed, and also I can make any adjustments to the visibility for my customer. Great, let's go ahead and save our changes and we can send that to our customer. Require a signature on this one and we'll click send. All right. Now you could also have more than one selection document within an allowance. So let's create an additional one for appliance upgrades. So we'll click plus appliance allowance selection document and we will say appliance upgrades. All right, again, I'm going to choose a group that I've already saved in my catalog from catalog, and let's do our appliance upgrade selections. Then we'll click add. Perfect. All right, that looks good to me. And notice that we also even have a write-in for our customer to choose to write in any additional appliance that they find on their own. Don't forget to set that due date here, and then we will create. Now notice that I can again make any adjustments that I need to this document. And once I'm ready, we'll save and send it to the customer. Require a signature and send. Perfect. All right, so now your customer within their portal will see the selections tab and they will be able to start reviewing their selections and responding for you. So let's pretend that we're a customer right now. We're gonna open up our appliance package selections, review this document, and then they're going to make their choice. All right, we can see the selections cost, so how much they chose, also how much is deducted from their allowance, and then if they did go over their allowance amount, we will also see any additional costs to sign for here. All right, sign away and approve. Perfect. All right, let's go ahead and do another one, appliance upgrades, and as the customer, we will review. Maybe they want several upgrades here, and again, if they had an overage, then they'll go ahead and see that overage listed here. So as you can see, we have chosen $300 more than our allowance amount. So we will then sign for this. Perfect. All right, so we can collapse that. And you're going to notice that here we have the allowance cost, how much was selected, and any overage is shown in red. Now let's go ahead and look at a couple additional examples. So I'm going to add in an electrical allowance, and this will be maybe for a kitchen island light fixture. So we'll click plus document, and we'll say kitchen island light. And then I'm going to add a write-in item here so that they can go out and source the light that they would like. So I'll add a new item from scratch, and this will be called my kitchen island light fixture. Now this description box becomes the text box that your customer can type into. So we could say, please add the details for your chosen light below. All right, and then again, I always like to make sure that I prompt them on what information I'm looking for. So item name, item color, item SKU, and item URL. All right, now we'll choose the cost code, electrical, and we'll choose the type is going to be materials, the quantity 1, and each. In order to make this a write-in item, we do need to go down to allows customer write-in, and the cost will depend on the customer input. We are going to wait and see what they want before we know how much it will cost, so we want to turn that on. Now you'll see that the total is TBD, and that is what we're aiming for. All right, we can also set our due date for this one. Maybe we'll want this a little earlier, Tuesday, and we will then click Create. Now you'll see that we have our kitchen island light listed. When we send this off to the customer will have the option to send us information about this item. So let's pretend that we're the customer now. They see that this is pending and they will go in and enter in their light information. So maybe they find a pennant light and the color is bronze and the SKU is going to be listed here. And then also they will add in the website. They can also upload any files, photos, and videos to this item so that you know exactly what they're looking for, and then they can submit their selections. Notice that there's not the opportunity for them to add a signature yet because they don't have any final price on this document. So at this time, it becomes a back and forth process. They're going to submit their information to you. It's still a pending document, and you'll be notified that it's your turn to take action. Now you'll pop in here and you'll see, okay, they want a pennant light, this is the information. You'll contact your supplier and then you can click on the TBD option. And here is where you can enter in the cost for them. Maybe you want to make sure that they stay below the total allowance amount of $300. So in this case, you could even enter in the price and then it will show you the cost of the light. All right. So now we have the selections cost and we've deducted it from the allowance. So at this point, you can then save your changes and send this back to the customer for their final signature. So we can find our customer on the recipient list and click the little paper airplane button to resend the document. All right, send it off. And now your customer will come back into their portal or click the link in their email and they will review this document. All right, that looks good to me. They will sign away and approve. Wonderful. What a steal for a kitchen island light. What I'd like to show you now, though, is that even though the allowance amount was $300, they selected $182. They have a remaining amount here of $118. All right, and so this is really important because we may have several allowances that have remaining amounts, and we need to be able to finalize them all and reduce those to zero eventually. Now, if you have any questions about allowances with selections, please contact your success manager or email support@jobtread.com and we will be sure to help you out.